Hello everyone and welcome to my channel Thin Hair Latina. My name is Tanya and today I am doing the last video in my series on bases for wigs and toppers. We've been going through a lot of the common base types like lace tops, silk tops, and a lot of the common back types for wigs like closed wefts and hand-tied areas. So today I have the last video in this series and we're going to be talking about monotops and open wefted wigs. So I'm really excited about this because I feel that, you know, there's a lot of these terms out there and it's difficult to understand what people mean by them, what the pros and cons are of all of these different types of bases. At this point, I've tried them all and I can honestly say that it's really up to your personal preference. Any one of them can make a fantastic wig. It's really just up to you and your lifestyle and what best fits into what you want to do with your wigs or toppers. So without further ado, we will start on the last two topics in this series. So today for the monotop and open wefts conversation, I'm going to be using a synthetic wig. So you'll notice that the hair looks a little different and that's because it is synthetic. This is not real human hair. But that doesn't make a difference to the monotop or the open wefts. This could be done on any type of hair. This just happens to be a piece that I have that has those two combined. So we're going to talk about the monotop on this and also the open wefting in the back. This is a wig by a brand called Envy, and I think it's the Brianna wig, so it's an extra long one. Okay, so monotops is a short term for monofilament tops. It is a much sturdier material than lace, but it's a lot more breathable than silk tops. So I'll give you a little look of what that looks like. You can see there that you can see all of the little knots on there. But otherwise you can, just kind of see my skin underneath. You can see there, yep. So that's what monotops look like. They have kind of a more plasticky feel to them. It doesn't feel like lace, where lace you can kind of tell it's fabric. With the monotops, you get a little bit more of that plasticky feel. That being said, they are absolutely great for hot weather. So if you live somewhere where it gets really hot, with lace, it's so delicate that every time you get it wet, you want to make sure you're not stretching it, all of that kind of stuff. But with monotops, they're hardy, they're well constructed, and you can, manipulate them a lot more. So in the heat, they're still super breathable, a lot like lace, versus silk tops are, tend to be pretty heavy. They have multiple layers of fabric in between the hair and the top of the silk. So with monotops, you still only have one layer, just like lace. So it ends up being a lot more breathable in the end. And then the last thing I wanted to talk about was open wefts. So I think probably the most breathable combination, if you live in a super hot place where it gets really hot and sweaty in the summer, is open wefts and monotops. I think they're just a great combination if you live in the heat. They will not look quite as natural on in the top. Like if you are looking super closely, you'll be able to tell that that's not a human scalp. But, big whoop, right? Like who cares if someone knows if you're wearing a wig? I mean, it's really not that big of a deal, and I hope someday it'll be normalized and there will be, like it'll just be like any other accessory out there. Like I put different earrings on every day and I can put a different wig on every day. So hopefully someday we'll get to that type of world, but until then, there's also lots of tips and tricks for how to making monotops look more realistic. Some people put silicone tape on it. So lots of options, but it is really, really breathable. Okay. So I'm going to put this on, that way you guys can see it on, and then I will talk a little bit more about the pros and cons. So here is the wig on, and up here in this top area is where you can see the monotop. So you can part it any which way. It does move, the hair moves really well. So if I wanted to switch this over to the other side, it will sort of do it. It won't do it as well as lace would, but it will, you know, keep it relatively well. So it is much more maneuverable. With silk tops, you really won't get that. You'll have to wet the top to get that movement. But with monotops, you can kind of just move them as you're out throughout the day. So all of that is possible. So that's positives of the monotops. The negatives are really just the look. It doesn't look quite as natural as a silk top, so you have to weigh that with, you know, the positives of it being more breathable, plus it having more movement. So depending on what you want out of a wig, you have to weigh that. But then the other part here is that it is open wefted. So open wefted is great because you can scratch your scalp. So I can go through, and I'm scratching my scalp right now. You can, you know, you can poke through right there. So that's really fantastic, especially if it's in a hot place, because you will get more air hitting your head. You won't get as sweaty or as hot in your wig. So, but with open wefts, I guess one of the negatives is that the hair can get more easily tangled. The hair can get kind of like rolled onto the wrong side of the weft if you're not careful. So things like that are the kinds of things that you have to weigh when you're looking into a open wefted wig. Are you more interested in having the accessibility to your scalp as well as having the breathability of it, or are you more interested in having a more comfortable feel? Because open wefts they can be itchy. Like, I have my own hair, so I don't feel it, but if I didn't have hair, I assume it would be a little bit more itchy to have these open wefts instead of having a closed wefted wig that had that nice soft fabric on the inside. So all of those things are things you have to weigh when you are buying a new wig or looking into a wig. There's all these different terms, and hopefully now, after watching this series, you have a good understanding of what a monotop is, of what open wefting is, closed wefting, as well as silk tops and lace tops, and also hand-tied backs. If you have any questions about any of this, please let me know in the comments or send me a message. You can also follow me on Instagram under the handle Thin Hair Latina. I'm on there and I make lots of shorter videos and just share more about my life wearing wigs in public with friends, out and about in my daily life. So if you're interested in any of that or interested in some style content, follow me there. Always happy to talk in my DMs there on Instagram as well. But yeah, before you go, make sure to like and subscribe, and let me know if you guys have any other ideas for videos that you want me to do. I'm happy to talk to you guys about any of that stuff. Anyways, have a nice day. See ya.